Everybody, it's Monday on my way home from work. Probably noticed there was no Sunday vlog. We had a bunch of stuff going on yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to do one, and I was so tired last night. It's completely wore out, so I just didn't get around to actually creating one. Thought about it, and then I just got to the point where I didn't feel like doing much of anything. We worked on the front yard, the flower beds last night some. And I think we're either working on it tonight or tomorrow. We're going to work on it some more and go get some mulch. So, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle any more tonight. I'm wore out today. So that's why there wasn't a Sunday one. What the hell is going on? That stupid cup holder won't fold up. There's a dog cookie in it. Anyway, got my wife's car back yesterday from the mechanic, and it runs much better than it did before. At least I drove it, and I think it runs better than it did. So the only other thing I need to do is get an alignment done, and then her car, well, on the wiper blades, and then her car is pretty much set. Shouldn't have to do anything. We just change the oil and then get the tires rotated. Oil change, so shouldn't be anything else, any other maintenance that needs to be done on it. And then mine will be due for a tune-up here soon. I'll probably replace the plugs and maybe the wires and the fuel filter, and I'm going to start changing the oil on it at home also, instead of taking it to the dealership. And that'll save me quite a bit of money. So yesterday we went and bought a bunch of plants. I'll be curious how they did today, just based on the fact that some of them, there's a couple of them that were hanging baskets, and they were actually like not completely dead, but they were wilted. Now I'm curious if they perked back up today, because they got plenty of water yesterday. The same way with everything else that was in the flower bed. They got planted, and some stuff that got transplanted. I'll be curious in the next couple of weeks to see if that all takes hold or if it just dies off. I'm trying to think what else I did. I don't think I did anything Saturday after I recorded. No, because I recorded late. So till yesterday, I was going to record some other videos, and it just didn't work out that way. I ended up not getting up until later, and I let all the dogs out and the chickens out, and then I got my wife up, and we had a little rescue kitty that some friends of ours were interested in, so we took the kitty out there yesterday, and she's living with them now. So we stayed out there for a while, and then we went and picked the car up. Not think of where we ate at. What the heck did we eat? Oh, we ate before. We ate at this place that's right by her office, this Mexican food place. It was alright. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I'd be curious to try their breakfast, because they have a huge breakfast menu, and they're always packed in the morning, so I might get up this Saturday, get up early, and go up there and eat breakfast. But then we went to Lowe's and bought some plants, and ended up going to Walmart later on, and we didn't, instead of buying mulch, we just skipped it. I think we're going to try to get it today or tomorrow to put over the flower bed. That's pretty much what we did. We just worked our butts off last night cleaning out that flower bed, and she planted a bunch of stuff, and that was pretty much it. I had to yell at the dogs. We let our two little ones in the front yard with us just to run around. They hardly ever get to go in the front yard unless they go for a ride, so we let them run around. First thing Rufus does is walks over and finds cat poop and eats it. And so I got onto him for that. He swallowed it before I could even open his mouth. And so I got mad at him, so he laid over in the grass and and just watched us. And then Lily kept like wandering off, and then I finally got her to the point where she'd sit on the stairs and stop wandering off, and Rufus wandered off. And I found him, he wanted to go back in the backyard, so I just made them both go back there instead of having to try to keep an eye on them. And used to, Rufus, we've always pretty much been able to let him walk like to the car and walk out in the front yard. Like if I go to check the mail or something and he's the only one out there, I'll let him walk up there with me. But used to, we couldn't let Lily because she would literally just take off running. She'd get so excited, she would just take off down the street, and if you yelled at her, she'd stop and come back. But her initial reaction to being out in the front yard was just to take off. And that's why one day we couldn't find her, and my wife kept hollering for her, and we saw her standing in the middle of one of the busiest streets in town, and then here she comes running back when she saw us. And that's when she used to be able to get out of the gate. She's a little too chunky to do that now, plus we got it blocked, so there's really no way for her to do it. So I got to take some parts back to the auto parts store, and there was 3 parts he didn't need because the parts were actually part of another part, so they were gaskets, and these parts already had the gaskets on them, so we didn't need them. But like I said, he did an amazing job. Like, it runs so much better now. And so at some point in time, I may have him help me fix my air conditioning in the truck. So I have to refill it every year, and I'd rather just fix it if we're going to keep that truck for a while. I'd rather just fix it and be done with it. Oh, man. See, I'm already getting tired today. But that's pretty much all we did this weekend. And all we did yesterday. I mean, though we went and bought some swimming pools for the dogs last night. And I finally found my cordless saw. It's a smaller circular saw, so I'm tempted to cut up some of those pallets. I told my wife I was going to build a little deck to put around the pool for the dogs to like walk up a ramp, and then build a ramp system to go into the water where they can go in and come back out. Because Leroy, our weenie dog, has a hurt back. He can still walk around, but his back's pretty bad. And so I want to give him a way to be able to walk up and get in the water and swim around a little bit. And last year, it helped him a lot. She put him in his life jacket that he's had since he was little. And let him swim around the pool, and that seemed to help him quite a bit. So we're going to try to do that again this year. Get him swimming in the pool and help strengthen up his muscles. But you can't hardly tell because, boy, he tears across the yard like there's nothing wrong. And really what it is, his back legs don't really work independently anymore. And he can move them, he just has trouble coordinating it when he's running. And so a lot of times what they do is bounce. They'll like kick in and bounce. He'll like push off like he's bouncing off of them. So, but he can still run just as fast. He's a crazy little thing, that's for sure. Like I said before, my editing rig's at the house, and so I came up with this great idea because my wife's like, I don't really want you filming in the house or outside. Well, she didn't want me filming outside of the house, like to see our house number, and trust me, there's no way in the world I want to do that. Especially if this channel gets bigger, I don't need people showing up at my house. But I was saying, well, I don't really want to film inside the house, and she was like, yeah, I'd rather you not. But I came up with this great idea, and what I'm going to do is buy a projector screen. I'm going to find somebody that's got one, and I'm going to put it behind me at my desk, and so when I film, I'll get right within the guidelines of that, and then you'll be able to see me better. And if I'm going to try to get a lighting system going so that when I'm filming at my desk, I can reflect off that and it'll actually illuminate me behind, and it'll make it look a little better. It'll make my videos look a little sharper. So at least that's my plan. Now I just have to find one, and find one that's not, you know, somebody wants $100 or $200 for them. I just want an old one as long as it works, and I'd rather have a stand one where I can move it out of the way when I'm not using it. And then another advantage of it is that if I decide to do any green screen, I can just drape that green screen over that, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, having to rig something for the green screen. I'll already have it. Now I just got to get the desk cleaned off and get all that set up, and I ended up with I guess it's like a 17-inch widescreen. It's pretty wide. It's like this wide. So it may actually be even like a 19, but it's only about this tall. That's the monitor I ended up with, and I'm trying to find a couple more. When I was talking to my wife last night, I was like, you know, I'd rather have a couple more, because I have the ability to hook up 3 monitors to my machine, but I really need like a bigger one, like a 20 or a 21, even maybe a 23 inch. And so she said we'd look around and possibly get one. And I gave her a better idea, is that if I had my own space in the house, which we don't, we only have a 2-bedroom house, and our roommate has a room and we have a room, and everything else is pretty much shared area. If I had my own room, then we have this Vizio TV that we don't use. It's a 42 inch, and it's got a great picture on it, and I would love to hook it up and use it as my monitor, especially like playing Minecraft and stuff like that. So, but she kind of vetoed that, which is fine. It's just because we don't have the space. If we had the space, it'd be perfect, and I'd hook it up. But we just don't have the space in our house for that. And I don't think I said on, was it Saturday, that I went and got pizza, or was it Friday? I don't know if I talked about it Saturday or not. I went to Pizza Hut to get a pizza. She ordered it, and I went and picked it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Friday night, on my way home. And we had a credit, and we've had credit there forever, because every time I go in there, they screw up my order. Well, this time it wasn't any different. So I told my wife I didn't want any wings, and so she couldn't remember if I said yes or no, so she just went ahead and ordered them. So I brought the pizza back and the wings, got back to the house, looked at the wings, and I was like, this sauce looks weird. It's like really watery and it doesn't look like it's hot sauce. And I tasted it, and it was lemon pepper, which is disgusting. So my wings were screwed up. And then we looked at the pizza, and we told them to take off the green peppers and put on green olives. So they put on green olives, but they took off the black olives. So I took it back up there. I took the wings back up there. The pizza was fine. We can just pick off the green peppers, but I was like really pissed that the employees didn't even check the order at all. Like, they just hand it to you without checking anything or saying, or having you verify it. You know, I worked at pizza places years ago, long time ago, early 90s, and we always checked the pizza before we even, like, if we did deliveries, before we grabbed them, we would check them, make sure it was the right thing. You know, it's nothing worse than getting out to somebody's house and you have the wrong pizza, or somebody screwed it up when you have a chance just to remake it. So manager was like, oh, I'm so sorry. She goes, I'll give you a credit. And I was like, you know, this is like the 6th credit I've gotten from you guys. I haven't bought pizza in forever. I'm like, I don't understand. At this point, and you know how many credits you've given me, why don't you just do it right the first time? You know, spend the extra couple of minutes to make sure everything's correct. And she goes, well, I'll have to talk to the order taker because he didn't do the order right. And I'm like, my thing is, I understand where we live, it's really hard to find employees, so they're pretty much stuck with whatever they can get. You know, and that's partially the city's fault because they don't bill they're not building any other apartment communities, and if they had more apartment communities in that town, they'd have more people living there, and all these restaurants would have a wider selection of people to hire. But at some point in time, either you have to close the business, or you have to just start firing people, and you're going to have to spend more money to get people to drive in from Austin or wherever. And I'm not the only person they screwed up. I'll bet you anything that they credit probably close to $100 or $200 a night. That's ridiculous. I mean, if I was the manager of that place and I was having to credit people constantly, and he's the new manager, I would just start cutting people. You know, what else can you do? The only other thing you can do is, along with that, because you'll have fewer employees, and if you can't get any more people, make your delivery areas smaller. You know, you can't continue to do business like that, because eventually people are just going to bail. And the one thing I do have to say about Domino's, they usually get the order right, but I can't stand their pizza. It's just not good. I don't like that stupid cornmeal on the bottom of it. I don't think it ever made a difference. I don't think it made the pizza taste good. I think it just made everything crunchy, and it's kind of a waste. I've always felt that way about Domino's. I've never been a big fan. But I was like really, really hacked off over that. But, you know, so now I have another credit, and I'm going to go back and spend that credit, and they're going to screw it up again. And my wife's like, well, just get another credit. And I'm like, I should just have them pay me for my time to go up there and be done with it. So if they screw up after this time, I'm done. Like, even if they offer me another credit, I'm not going to take it. I mean, I just can't deal with it again and again and again. It just gets old. Speaking of complaining about companies, I ordered that case for my phone. It's still, hopefully it's at home. I doubt it. Because I looked at their tracking thing, and it was in Austin as of Friday. So it should go to our little town and then get delivered. Well, this company decided to sent this thing by UPS, but they have the UPS pays regular mail to deliver it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know how they thought that was going to be any faster. They could have sent the damn thing ground and it would have already been there. But they sent it this weird way, so I tracked it today, and it says now that it's in Baton Rouge. So it was in Austin, and now it's in Baton Rouge. If that's the truth, and that's really where it's at, I'm going to be pissed, and I'm going to cancel my order, and I'm going to leave them horrible feedback on Amazon. I really wanted the case, and it's the company who makes the case is the one that sent it to me. But if they're going to pull bonehead moves like that to try to save a couple of bucks, then forget it. I don't want their product. Because obviously their product's probably not worth it if they're trying to save a couple of bucks on that shipping. Who knows what they did with their product to cut corners to make some extra money off it too. So I'm not happy, and I'll know today. If it's not there today, then tomorrow I'll out the company, and I'm going to leave them horrible feedback tonight and request a refund. And if they refuse, then I'll just go to my bank and claim a fraudulent charge and have it reversed that way. And then they can deal with their credit card company, or whoever they use for their credit cards. And then I'll be talking to Amazon too about it. But it's just ridiculous. It's like nobody gives a crap about customer service. Just like that girl at Chili's Saturday night, that guy hurt himself, and everybody just stood around like a dumbass. And then somebody said call 911, and the guys he was with were like, no, we got it. They should have called the police and had the police come and investigate and find out what was going on and why they were so insistent not to send an ambulance. That's the first thing, and even the manager said that's what should have been done.
and she didn't know what happened. She had no clue, and nobody bothered to tell her. And then when the guy was walking out with the margarita shaker, I went and told the hostess, and she just looked at me like she's so stupid. She had no clue. Well, I said, they're not supposed to be taking it out of the restaurant. She's like, yeah. God help us all if that's the kind of idiots that we have to deal with in the future. Might as well just drown them all now and be done with it. They're not going to make a difference in this world. Jesus. And then this guy that was, I guess, helping her with her hostess duties, because I don't think she had the sense to do it herself. I told him what happened, and he was like, oh, I'm going to go grab the manager. And he went back and grabbed the manager, and they went out and they didn't get the license plate number in time. But at least he thought, and he was probably close to her same age. And she just stood there like a dullard. So I hope she marries someone that's got money, because she ain't got a lick of sense, and she's not going to amount to anything in this world. Just ridiculous. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Enough ranting for today, and I'm sure this one's going to be long. Maybe it'll make up for not having one yesterday. Oh, really? Let's get out of the way then. So you guys have a good Monday night.